on the pulse of the burnout meter, so I'll make sure I'm good. So thank you though for checking in. The black pill.
The black pill.
I've covered it on this channel before, but as a brief refresher, you have the blue pill, the red pill, and the black pill. The blue pill, when it comes to dating, is people giving you advice that doesn't really work, but that society accepts. Just be yourself, bro. There's plenty of fish in the sea, bro. Just go out there and put yourself out there and you'll find somebody, bro. To many in online men's communities, this is simply not enough and represents a certain naivete when it comes to the modern dating scene and online dating, which heavily relies on appearance. So if you're not up to par, all that advice is basically trash, throw it in the dumpster. Then you have the red pill, which is the waking up to the reality, which is you got to get fit, you got to build a small business, make some money, and become a high value man, and then you'll become competitive in the dating scene, and the ladies will start dropping like flies and landing on top of you. You can hold them, carry them around, because as flies do when they drop, they die. After the red pill, then you go all the way over here in this kind of extreme zone and you have the black pill. Now the black pill essentially says that there's very little you can do to improve your situation as far as dating goes. Most men that fall below a certain looks scale were ugly or out of shape or genetically predisposed to being not hot, basically. And so according to the black pill, the best thing for these men to do is accept reality that you're never going to find someone and turn away from dating entirely and find peace elsewhere in life. Those are the 3 pills, and today we're going to be looking at the black pill. Wheat Waffles is basically the biggest black pill channel. He has about 135.
I have not heard of this channel.
5,000 subscribers. I've talked about this channel before, and I'm not here trying to double dip the chip and go back and send people over there his way to be like, bah. But I do want to just sort of get an update on what's being said in this space about dating from the black pill perspective, and then look at how it's being interpreted. How is this stuff being used online by the audiences that consume it? So let's do it. Check it out, and don't forget to... First video I want to look at is called You've Been Warned, Ugly Men Do Not Approach Women. See this thumbnail here is a lady, and the big do not approach me. So Wheat Waffle starts this video out by playing a clip from
I remember this. Yeah, we had a really good conversation about that.
Like a TikTok of a woman who saw a man in a parking lot and sort of yelled at him to get away from her. I'll just play it now.
I'm literally shaking right now because I just had a man approach me in a parking lot and it went fine. And I'm going to tell you why it went fine and how to address it, because it was in a book I read and this is how you're supposed to address it, but it scared me. I'm literally shaking. So this guy, I am alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me." And he immediately started going in the other direction, and I just kept saying it over and over and over. I said, "Do not approach me, do not approach me." And he of course got what the F, he started cussing and yelling what's your problem? And I looked at him and he actually then crossed a couple cars down from my car. He didn't come anywhere near me. He crossed a couple cars down from my car and was like, continuing to cuss and say, "What's your problem?" And I said, "You do not approach women in a parking lot." I just kept saying, "Do not approach me. You do not approach women in a parking lot," yelling it. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. Ever. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. And if a male does approach you, you need to turn around and use the strongest voice that you can possibly use with them. Don't be polite. They need to literally screw off. No male should be approaching you in a parking lot.
Okay, so upon watching this video...
Okay, now, I see a lot of concerning chat messages. So I'm going to say my exact take that I said last time, and we're going to go from there, okay? Okay, 2 things. First of all, this video was not meant to be watched by men. And that was the first mistake. It's not meant for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that. I apologize. It was made for other women. Okay? Second of all, she is making a judgment here, okay? She's making a judgment here. Here we go. Or a judgment call, excuse me. I will show you guys. This is her perspective. Her perspective is, I can scream. Here's option 1. I can scream, "Do not approach me." To men in parking lots that are trying to approach me. Okay? And best case scenario. Wait, no. Let's describe this in a different way. At worst, I'm a cunt and a bitch, and I look crazy. And maybe I make a normal person feel uncomfortable. Okay? But here's option 2. I act nice and I say, I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. And the situation escalates and you get assaulted or drugged or whatever the fuck. And for her, she would rather come off as a cunt and come off crazy than be assaulted. She's making that option. Whether you want to make that option, that's up to you to decide. But for her, that's what she's making. That's the decision that she's making. She's like, I would rather look crazy than get assaulted. At a parking lot during the day, tell me you're not a woman. Without telling me you're not a woman. Like, it came off a bit unhinged, but like for men, like that's the point. Yes. So let me add on to this. Here we go. You can do this yourself, chat. It's kind of like a coloring book. I draw the lines, you can color it in. All right? She would rather lose her bag or her wallet or whatever than potentially get assaulted. She is in that moment making a decision. I don't give a fuck if he picked up something that's mine. I don't give a fuck if I drop my wallet. I don't give a fuck if I drop my purse. I would rather not get assaulted and lose my purse than get assaulted. Who the fuck is approaching women at parking lots? You would be surprised. And it's really sad because when men responded to that video, it was like, damn, this bitch is crazy. Damn, this bitch needs therapy. Oh my fucking God, she's crazy. And when women saw this post, you know what they responded? They responded with horror stories about people trying to break into their car. They responded with, oh, this happened to me. Someone was trying to talk to me in my car and I rolled down the window a little bit to talk to someone because they're trying to talk to me. And I'm like, hi, how can I help you? And they try to hit on me. And I'm like, I'm not interested. And the guy reached to open the door and then realized it was locked and walked off. Can you imagine that fucking happening to you? Can you fucking imagine? So yeah, for some women, they would rather look crazy than have to deal with that. It's just about making your own judgment calls. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, like leaving a drink unattended. There's a good chance the drink is fine and you can drink it and it's all good. But why risk it? You can make your decision for yourself. You know what I mean? I think it seems excessive because I would never approach an assault a woman, but I think it's fair to do it. Yeah, I mean, like the reality is like, I think it looks insane when you are a man who has never been approached in a parking lot or made to feel uncomfortable in a parking lot or felt scared in a parking lot. Now, opening someone's door like that is insane. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Maximus, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you. Also, yeah, didn't she also say her kid was there? Like, I would 100% rather look crazy and drop my stuff or lose my stuff than, like, get, like, my kid and I, yeah, 100%. 1,000,000%. There are way too many stories of, like, women being followed in stores and parking lots by traffickers. Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad to say this. Every single woman I know has been followed by a guy. Myself included. Multiple times. Very weird that it happens. Very fucking weird. I've literally been followed for blocks through Brooklyn, which I had the balls to look crazy and start yelling. I wish I could do that, dude. I wish I could turn around and be like, stop following me, you fucking creep. But I just don't have it in me. I don't have that dog in me. Anyways. Yeah. So like, I get it. I get that people watching this video, people who watch this TikTok, they're like, damn, wow, this bitch has trauma. Lol. This bitch has... No, it's not about trauma or not trauma. It's about the fact that in her head, she's making a judgment call. She would rather lose her purse or look crazy than endanger herself or her child. And like, maybe someone, you know, maybe it'll happen to someone who didn't deserve it. Maybe someone was just trying to say hi or be nice. And that person like got their, you know, their day ruined a little bit. Yeah, that sucks. But, you know, it's his life. You know? People don't even know how parking lots, especially like Walmarts, are like spots for human traffickers. Yeah. Which is totally cool. Take her purse back to the store and leave it with the people at the counter. Yeah. And also, like, I think as well, it's hard to see her perspective when you don't live in her shoes. You know what I mean? You know? And the sad thing is, I want to say one other thing, right? A lot of people love to tone police. It's like, I think it's just a symptom of like the internet. People have to be like, well, it's not what she said. It was the way that she said it or whatever. Like if she wanted to say, you know, don't approach me, I'm not interested, she could have just said it. You do not know how persistent freaks are. I have shared this story with you guys before. But like I was hanging out with a friend, and we were going to a bar. She was like, I need to get blasted. It was pregame. I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. So we walk into a bar, and she's like, yeah, 2 shots. And I'm just like chilling, waiting with her. And this guy approaches me and he's like, how you doing? How you doing, Shreya? Oh, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm good. Like not paying attention. He's like, so can I get your number? You know, but I'm trying to be polite. I'm like, I'm not interested. Thank you. The next 5 minutes are him trying to convince me to give him a chance. And at some point, like I crack and I'm like, and I look at him and I lie to get him to leave me alone. I look at him and I say, I have a boyfriend. Immediately, he walks off. Why? Like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, why, dude? Like, I have to lie about my relationship status to get you to leave me the fuck alone? Does saying you're gay work? Nope. I've tried it. Doesn't work. Then they're like, oh, you know, if you're ever looking for a guy for 2 ladies, I'm available Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. Okay? There's a reason women act crazy in front of men they don't want to talk to. And it's because that's the only way sometimes to get people to leave you the fuck alone. Is to tell them, hey, fuck off. Literally, fuck off. I want you to think that I'm insane. Because that's the only way I'm going to get you to leave me the fuck alone. Telling them you're gay makes it 10 times worse because then they start asking more questions and then they tell you that you haven't met the right guy. Yeah. If a random woman or NB approaches me, I'm scared they're going to tell me something. They're going to try and sell me something, get me to join a cult or something, give them money. If a random man approaches me, I'm scared I'm going to die. Yeah. Yeah. The most fear I have from like a white woman approaching me on the street is that she's going to try and get me like into an MLM scheme. Also, it's like, bro, she already said no once. You have better luck trying someone else. You're just wasting you and her time. Yeah, like that's the thing too. It's like if someone says like, please, I'm not interested. I'm really just not interested. You're not going to convince them. You're just going to fucking annoy them and you're going to make them, they're going to dislike you. So anyways, I just want people to watch this clip with that context in mind, with like those details in mind, right? Because I think it's easy to watch this clip as someone who's never been approached in a parking lot, someone who's never felt fear in a parking lot, someone who's never like been scared of like someone following them, and watch that video and say, damn, that bitch looks crazy. But within the context of like, sadly, the female experience, it's like, yeah, no, I respect her decision to do that. I respect her decision. She made a choice. She was like, I would rather look insane than be assaulted. And with my kid, I don't want anything bad to happen. Yeah. Okay, that's her decision to make. You know? True Denims, my original reaction was confusion. When I asked other women and I heard your original take, it really put it into context. Yeah. Her decision is understandable. And in an ideal world, here's the thing, chat, here's the thing. If we live in a vacuum where like assault doesn't happen at the rates that it does, and like human trafficking doesn't happen at the rates that it does, which the rate should be 0, then she is a bitch. Yeah, you would be correct. If we lived in a world where bad shit didn't happen, yeah, then she's just being an asshole to someone who just wanted to talk to her. That's not what happened. What if a singing white woman with a ukulele approaches you? It's okay. I'm immune. I'm over the age of 18. So she would never approach me. Okay. Okay, back to the video. Let's watch.
What do we think? Well, on the one hand, people do have bad experiences with strangers. I think a certain level of safety is often warranted in interactions with people you don't know, people in parking lots, anything like that, especially when you're with your kids, right? But in the case of this video, there's a few things that sort of call into question the motivations of like what's happening here. For one, it sounds like the guy was pretty like neutral in approaching her. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am." This wasn't late at night or anything, and he was like from a distance when he said, "Excuse me." I think to most people that sounds like a pretty reasonable way to approach someone. He's not jumping at her from behind the car to say, "Excuse me." And so for that reason, you could see why a clip of this might go viral, right? Because obviously it went viral. That's how Wheat Waffles found it. It's someone seeming to act irrational, justifying their behavior by it being something from a book they read and calling out, a gender, men, and saying they're a threat, they're dangerous. And so a lot of people share it being like, no, we're not. And this guy wasn't either. That's basically how this breaks down on the internet. The original post was deleted, so you can assume there was a lot of negative backlash. Now let's see how Wheat Waffles takes this example and uses it for his video here.
Guys, before I go ahead and begin analysing this clip, I'm going to start this video with a quick analogy. Most of you will be familiar with the insects moths and butterflies. Moths are seen as ugly creatures, an annoyance, vermin, and are okay to exterminate.
Well, but I love moths. I'm such a big moth fan. Moths are so cute. That maybe, but I also like rats. I think rats are cute too. I love rats. Rats are they're just little guys, they're just like, the rat goes like this. I love rats. I love rats and I love moths. Okay.
Whereas butterflies are seen as beautiful insects, colourful, pristine, and should be protected.
First of all,
okay, wait. wait. No, wait. How funny would it be if the rest of this video, the punchline or like the tagline or like the whoa moment on this was, what if we replaced butterfly with American and moth with British? Not so funny now, is it?
Of course he's British.
Please.
SMH.
Please tell me the video continues like that. Please. I'm begging. You would be so funny. It would be so funny.
first of all, Why you shitting on moths? What did moths
Well,
do to
at
you? There's
least
plenty of gorgeous moths,
goes.
and even the moth on the screen, you know, it's got a nice. I think it's cute. And also, who said butterflies can't be invasive? You ever seen those fluffy caterpillar vermin crazy stuff that goes on in the springtime? Sometimes that shit is invasive as hell, and it's butterflies. So debunked. There you go. But okay, what is the relevance of this dichotomy here? Let's find out. So moving on.
Now looking at the clip, I have absolutely no way of verifying this, but I could bet any money that the man who approached this woman was certainly a sub-5 ugly guy.
Hey man, what are you talking about? Okay, so here we get to the first fundamental flaw in this video, which is that wheat waffles
Thanks for always being an amazing streamer. I appreciate you more than I can say.
Oh, thank you, Coda. Thank you for the 6 months. Thank you.
assumes that the guy who approached this woman was ugly, with zero evidence. In the video, she does not specify whether this guy was a sexy guy or not, and so any meaning derived from this situation about the guy's relative attractiveness is just made up. It's just bullshit.
And the reason I think this is because the way women treat ugly men and attractive men are literally light years apart from one another.
Wheat Waffles acknowledges this by saying that he has no way of telling whether or not this guy was actually ugly, but then proceeds with his video under that assumption. And I think here is a good first example of the sort of logic that exists within the BLACKPILL spaces. Because there's no way you can watch this video and continue to take it seriously once the totally speculative assertion comes up that the guy was ugly, and then that's the reason why this woman reacted to him this way. It's sort of an in-group, out-group thing. You turn the video off once you realize, oh, that doesn't make any sense. But if you already have an inherent feeling of mistreatment because you're an ugly guy and you've been mistreated that way, at least in dating or whatever, or you see people getting mistreated for being ugly, then you can keep watching the video and grant him that assumption that the guy was ugly.
They see them as an embarrassment, lowering their social value, and at a worst case, dangerous. Whereas for attractive men, they are seen as safe, kind, and compassionate. Even
Huh?
studies show better looking people are treated better.
I have to look at the actual study. Wait, but isn't this just like, no one is disagreeing that pretty privilege is real, though. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows pretty privilege is real. Like, your life is just easier and better if you are attractive, or more attractive conventionally. But that applies to women as well. Like, ugly women, conventionally unattractive women, are treated worse as well. It's like, if you are not considered an attractive woman, you're considered annoying to be around. No one wants to hear you. No one wants to hang out with you. It's like, it's literally, give me 1 second, chat. Let me grab some water. Being an ugly woman is like being a man. Also, it's way worse, right? Because you see all of I feel like even with attractive men are still expected to make the first move or whatever. If you're an unattractive woman, just nobody talks to you, but all of your friends get approached all the time. And you're just like, cool. Love this. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like even if you're an attractive man, it's still very rare to get approached. Have you ever seen how incels talk about fat women? They talk about them like they want to exterminate them. Give me 1 second, chat. All right, chat. Sorry about that. I'm back. This is always like a problem that I have with the incel videos. They extrapolate truths about like women and men, but really it's just truths about people. You know what I mean? Like, can you believe women are so shallow that they treat attractive men better than unattractive men? And it's like, wait, but the same thing happens to attractive women and unattractive women. What? You're just talking about like human beings. Like, I don't understand. Huh?
This article from a women's magazine shows a study, on average, attractive male and female servers made about $1,200 more a year than unattractive servers. Mostly due to the disparity in women's tips. That's right, women are way more superficial than society wants you to believe.
So Wheat Waffles here bizarrely cites this article that takes a study about the attractiveness of servers and relative to the amount of tips that they get, and concludes that women are more superficial than men, which is just a weird thing given that the conclusion of this paper is that there needs to be more research done because this was a very specific.
Piggy. I'm Piggy. Sorry, I was muting because I was crinkling like the bag that has my bagel in it. I didn't want you guys to hear the crinkle. I was trying to say, this is my favorite thing that happens on the internet. People read not the study. They read an article talking about the study, and then they extrapolate their own opinions about the study. And every single time when you go to open the study, it's like, hey, this only applies to like this specific city in this specific region. More research needs to be done. We still are unsure if there is a cause, like a causation here, or if this is just correlation. More research needs to be done about how the treatment of the servers were versus these servers. You know what I mean? And then there's always half the internet is like, wow, this study shows that women are terrible people and we should exterminate them. It's like, the researchers didn't say that. What? You can't just, what? Hello?
Regional and small sample size study, if you can even call it that, was a survey. But also the bigger thing is here, why? What does that have to do with this situation? He's using this article to say that attractiveness matters in terms of how people are treated, but that actually doesn't have anything to do with the video in question because there's no statement on whether or not the guy was attractive. It's just strange, you know? Let's just continue though.
I am extremely confident that he would have looked like this, a bottom 10%er in terms of appearance. Because if we hear some of her quotes, I am literally shaking right now because I just had a man approach me in the parking lot. Now, why would she be shaking after just having a man approach her? I mean, I can tell you myself, as a non-ugly guy, this is not the kind of response you'd expect from women.
Yeah, as a sexy hot guy, you know, this has never happened to me. So anyone getting a negative reaction, that guy probably was not a sexy hot guy because I know what it's like and this stuff doesn't happen. This here is just such a funny point to make, but it's just nonsensical because it posits that the number one.
I'm not going to comment. Okay. Not gonna comment on that.
The only thing that it determines someone's response to seeing you is your relative level of attractiveness. In the case of the woman, who obviously there was a bunch of different factors, probably, like the thing she said she read in the book, her relative stress levels, whatever she felt in the parking lot that made her stressed or worried about the man, regardless of whether you think those reasons are like an overreaction, all of them are reduced down to, was the guy sexy? This is bizarre, man. This is bizarre. When I made my last video on Wheat Waffles, one of the things his viewers, when they would comment on my video, would say was, Wheat Waffles sticks to the statistics and the arguments and the facts, and you're not debunking them. But here we have an entire video that's just based on a fallacious logic. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit and use one last point, and because this video is pretty much, we don't need to look at it anymore, but it's pretty fucking funny.
My point is, only ugly guys get this level of treatment from women. In fact, this leads great into the next point, because it's not just women who treat ugly guys terribly, but men too. Check out this video.
Hey guys, I'm in New York City just hanging out.
Wow. The facial expression says it all.
It's a vine, bro. It's a vine. Oh my gosh, this is so funny, dude. Obviously, yes, this guy is being kind of a dick in this video. The punchline is, this guy looks weird. This guy looks ugly. I'm gonna do the face. I'm not even here to challenge the assertion that ugly people are treated worse in society. I think that's generally something that's hard to disagree with, at least with statistics. But in this video, Waffles is trying to drive this point home by showing examples of people being mistreated for being ugly when there's tons of examples of people being mistreated in public that aren't ugly. Just like,
Also, that's literally like one of the tenets of like leftism. It's just like, maybe we should treat people fairly regardless of all the other qualities that they have. maybe we should treat people based on their character. Like that's like a core tenet of like leftism.
There's tons of examples of people being scared in parking lots of men that are handsome, Squidward. This is a good time to just request to my viewers, if you feel like sharing any stories of times you've been creeped out by someone that was conventionally attractive. And we Waffles viewers, if you're watching this, scroll down and read some of those stories. Because the underlying black pill logic is attractive men can get away with murder. Literally, women will forgive them because they're sexy hot. Women will forgive you for a murder, but if you're ugly, that would not be forgiven.
As the
Okay. Now, this is an anecdote, and I'm just going to talk about my experience, okay? Also, Nico, that sounds terrible. I'm so sorry. Now, this is just my experience. I actually, I get more angry when attractive men bother me. Anytime I've ever been approached by like a conventionally attractive, like 9, 10s, and I'm like, I'm not interested, thank you, and they keep going, I actually get more angry because the first thought in my head is, this guy probably thinks that he's so attractive that he's allowed to bother women like this, and I fucking hate shallow cunts like this. All I can think about is like the fucking arrogance behind someone doing that shit, and I'm just like, I bet you think you're fucking God's greatest gift, you fucking sack of shit. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, I don't feel the same negative feeling if someone that isn't my type or is conventionally unattractive or something bothers me. I'm like, you know what? It's like, they're trying, man. They're shooting their shot. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's, yes, it's the arrogance. Yeah. Yeah. They think they're hot shit most of the time. It's a huge turnoff. Oh, yeah. There's like a fine line for like confidence and arrogance. And when they cross that line, it makes me so mad. It just, Also, like, how many asshole guys have you heard talk about how lucky a female predator's victim is because she's attractive? It's disgusting. Totally disproves Wheaty's point that only women do this. Oh, yeah. 100%. That's a very good point. Like, whenever there's like an instance of a teacher that is female and she is committing statutory rape with her students, and the comments are like, if that was my teacher, these boys sure are lucky. And you know the only reason they're saying that is because the teacher is attractive. Whereas if the teacher was not attractive, they'd be like, this is disgusting. It's almost like this is a people problem. It's almost like pretty privilege is a thing. It's almost like halo effect is a thing. And we have to try and actively deprogram those parts of our brain. You know?
The saying goes, every image speaks 1,000 words.
I think this is sort of a misuse of the adage that every image speaks 1,000 words. That saying really isn't meant to mean every image speaks 1,000 of the words that I want to say, that I'm trying to get you to believe so that you will watch my YouTube channel, so that you will buy my face rating thing, which I guess brings me to the end of this specific video, which is that when it's time to come up with solutions for the viewers of how to deal with the plight of being ugly, he doesn't really give all that much other than one big thing, which is the thing you pay for.
This leaves just one more question. What's the solution? I have 2 suggestions. 1. Obtain the knowledge if you are in the dreaded creep category, in which case you want to avoid women for your own safety. Or 2. If you're on the verge
jump off a bridge.
Being a creep, do as best you can to improve your appearance so you can pull yourself
in Minecraft.
Out. And with these 2 things said, you'll be pleased to know I have the tools to fix both. For the past 2 years, I've sold thousands, literally thousands of face ratings to you guys. So you can know exactly where you stand and therefore the level of treatment women will give you. I've also given tens of thousands of pieces of looks maxing advice.
Okay, so there you have it. There's the monetizing element. So let's just look at the two solutions here before we look at the face rating thing. Number one is obtain the knowledge if you are in the dreaded creep category, in which case you'll want to avoid women for your own safety. Now, actually, the video at the start was the opposite of that. The woman was avoiding the man for her own safety. The man was in no threat. She was like running. But the second potential solution that We Waffles outlines here is actually kind of interesting because it represents a sort of deviation from the black pill. The black pill, like the actual black pill, would only adhere to the first solution. Because if you're actually black pilled, you believe that there's nothing you can do about your appearance. That is the sort of inherent logic in a lot of We Waffles videos. That's how he's built his following. So in some sense, this second solution represents a move in the right direction, right? Instead of telling men to give up, he's saying, you know, there's things you can do to make yourself more attractive, and being attractive in society could lead to generally more positive outcomes. This deviation to the red pill, there's actually a few other videos that do this on We Waffles channels, and his audience don't really react well to that. Like this video here, why dating as a man is objectively better. Obviously, this breaks from the rhetoric of the black pill that things are much, much worse off for men and you should just give up. There are some serious problems with examples like this video.
Reason 1. The proportions of what makes you attractive are more evenly spread. Let's be honest.
What? Okay, all right, wait. Before we even discuss whatever shit show that was. Okay.
The proportions of what...
Let's talk about two things. First of all, A. We did already, Theon. First of all, A. Anyone can be a 7. I personally think anyone can be an 8, but anyone can be a 7. If you shower, shave, or grow out facial hair, whatever looks better for you, dress yourself. People underestimate how... I think this is like a common man problem. People underestimate how much dressing well makes you look good. Smelling good and wearing and having drip, a little bit of drip in a shower will take you so far. It will take you so far. Okay? Like, if you want someone to give you a chance, the best way to do that is like shower and dress well. Learn how to dress yourself. Okay? Fucking moisturize, yeah. Like here, you want like the cheat sheet on like things to do if you're trying to become that 7 or that 8 or whatever. Learn how to dress yourself. There's a lot of like guides online. I would suggest TikTok, men's fashion on TikTok, and I would try looking for people with your build that look like you and that fit your vibe. And then just don't tell anyone, but just steal the outfits. Just steal them. Okay? You can do that. It's okay, actually. Because that's what I do. I see outfits I like that other people wear, and I'm like, I think I could pull it off. Let's try it. And I go and buy those items. I'm like, okay, I need a top that looks like this. I need a pair of pants that look like this. And I need a pair of shoes that look like this. Let's see how I look. Just do that. It's okay. It's actually, I am telling you, it's okay to steal. Okay? Don't steal from the store. I'm not legally allowed to tell you to do that. But go and find people who look like you, who have a fashion taste that you like, and go and literally just like copy it. Just fucking copy it. Okay? Shower. Learn what facial hair looks best on you. Get a skincare routine. Get a good hairstylist if you have hair. Okay? And also, this one is also, I never see anyone talk about this. If you wear glasses, find a pair of glasses that frame your face in a way that makes you look better. Because glasses can make you look worse, or they can make you look better. And not every pair of glasses will look good on every single person. I have glasses, when I put them on my face, I literally look like you should bully me and shove me in a locker. It's not cute. And then I have other glasses that kind of make me look like a sexy librarian. You know what I mean? So like if you wear glasses, make sure you're getting glasses that complement your face, that complement your facial features and your facial structure. Okay? Those tips alone, just that, you will thank me, okay? Just those things alone chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, okay? Glasses are such a great accessory too. Yeah, like if you own a pair of glasses and you're like, but these are just functional and they look ugly, just take the time to go shopping for a nice pair of glasses, okay? And if you guys are like, well, how do I do that? Go to a glasses store and just try on as many glasses as you want. And the ones you really like, take a picture of yourself in them. Go to one of the websites online that sells glasses for pretty cheap. If you don't want to like splurge too much, like Zenni Optical, like the glasses are like fucking $20. And then try and get glasses that look like the ones that you tried on in the store that look good on you. I tried on glasses yesterday. It was crazy how much they all changed my face. If you don't know what looks good on you, secret tip, secret life hack trick. If you go to a glasses store and just try on a bunch of them, that's totally legal. You're actually totally allowed to do that. Yeah. You can do that. They can't stop you from trying them on. So yeah. Spend an hour in the store just being like, no. Maybe. And the workers are there to help you, okay? You can ask someone there to help you. All right. Anyways.
I don't wear glasses to look good to women. I wear rimless round glasses because I'm a slut and I like how they look.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, there's a lot of things you can do. TLDR, there's a lot of things you can do. You don't need to buy someone's shitty fucking course. You don't need to buy some shitty fucking looks rating. No, you just need to put in a little bit of effort. It'll be like a week of effort into how you look, and you'll be much. And then also, chat. If you do those things and you personality max, you're set. You're fucking set. You know what happened, chat? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I was talking to them about this. It's a long story, okay? But I told them that this other person I was talking to had Pete Davidson vibes. Like, they were attractive in a Pete Davidson way. And my friend's like, who the fuck is Pete Davidson? I'm like, how do you not know who Pete Davidson is? It's fine. It's fine. I'll just show you. And I show him a picture of Pete Davidson, and he's like, women find him attractive? I was like, yeah, he pulled Kim K and Ariana. And he like was staring at the image. He's like, him, this guy. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. But like, the reality is he puts enough effort in how he looks. He dresses himself. He showers. He tries to get a haircut that maybe suits him or whatever the fuck. Okay. He has some pretty nice tattoos as well. And guess what? He personality maxes. He just tries to have a fun personality to be around. Because like have you guys never like went out to hang out with friends or like, did you ever like go on a date and the person wasn't your type? Or like you're talking to a person and they're not really your type, but once they actually start talking and you guys are jiving, they become way more attractive all of a sudden? I feel like that's happened to me so many times where I'm hanging out with someone, I'm like, take it or leave it. But then we're just hitting it off. They're funny. We're laughing. We're having a good time. And I'm like, you're gonna make me act up a little. Shorty gonna make me act up. You know what I mean? It's like if you're willing to do the bare minimum and not show up looking disgusting to a date, and you make the other person have a good time, that's all you need. That's it. That's all you need. Okay. Back to the video.
What makes you attractive are more evenly spread. Let's be honest. When guys look at girls, 80% of it is just looks. Then the other 20% is how clean her past is, what she's like as a person, and maybe a couple other things. Meanwhile, for men,
That should be pretty self-evident as to sort of the deep-rooted misogyny in what this viewpoint on women is. Big old chunk for the how hot they are, and then just leaves 10% for who they are. Absolutely, truly just wild. So again, like, even though this move to a red pill thing...
This is also, okay, I'm not a man. Maybe every single man in my life is lying to me. I don't know. This is not true. This is not even remotely true. It's not. The number of friends that I've had that pull the baddest bitches, and they're like, Denim, what do I do? I don't want to talk to her. I know she's bad. Like, Shorty looks amazing, but I just can't have one more conversation with her anymore. I just can't. What do I tell her? Like, what do I say? And I'm like, oh, sometimes people are just boring, man. Okay. It's not true. This idea that like your looks will carry a boring personality is not. Fuck no, dude. Fuck no. Because women famously don't look at red flags and are only focused on looks. Totally. This has happened so many times. Pretty people never have to develop. Yeah, and there are a lot of people who are very attractive who don't have a personality because they've been attractive their whole life. Men and women. Someone once told me no matter how hot they are, someone out there wants nothing to do with them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, I don't know. Maybe the men in my life were just lying to me, but in my experience, this isn't true. This is not true.
Could be considered a step in the right direction. If that logic is still founded on like a deep sense of misogyny, then that's not really any better. It's sending men off into the world to be more successful at dating, as in getting Tinder matches. And then those men who actually maybe will get in a relationship hold just these deeply skewed beliefs about reality and women. He's driving home this point the whole time that women hate ugly men. Women will never even want to look at ugly men. Women will act irrationally in the face of seeing an ugly man. And so if you're ugly, you should pay for this thing that I sell. That's, to me, really what's morally contentious about this channel is that sort of paywalling of this advice, and the way that building up to the paywall, it's sort of riling up your insecurities. But I want to look at some of the comments here just really quick. If you are not a 6'3" Chad looking 8-packs 7-figure and below 35-year-old, don't even dare approaching a 3 out of 10 magnificent queen. As a sub 5 man, the biological fact that essentially no women will entertain my romantic advancements has actually been very beneficial to me. In my early adult years, this caused me a lot of grief.
Stop. The reason women are not entertaining your romantic advancements is because you talk like a fucking loser. As a sub 5 man, the biological fact that essentially no woman will entertain any romantic advancements actually has been very beneficial to me in my early adult years. This caused me a lot of grief now that I'm older and witnessed routinely disastrous outcomes that beset romantic relationships. Rejection has ironically saved. You're getting no pussy because you talk like a fucking loser. Okay? Have you tried being funny? A little, just a little. You don't need to speak like you're in fucking Hamlet. Okay? You don't need to speak like you're a fucking Redditor. Okay? Alright? Just a little riz will go so far. A little. Okay? Christ. Get back to the video.
But now that I'm older and have witnessed the routinely disastrous outcomes that beset romantic relationships, rejection has ironically saved me. I don't have to face the loss of assets and livelihood, my children, my freedom, and quite possibly my life. Gentlemen, if you are a sub 5 ma'am, as painful as it may be, you are quite possibly being spared a much worse fate than that of loneliness. Here's another perfect example of sort of the problem in these spaces. Obviously, this guy has had some bad experiences. He talks about grief. He talks about rejection and bad outcomes for people that he's seen couple up. So from that, you could see, that would make sense for someone to want to turn away from dating and not deal with that stuff. The issue with that, though, is that turning away from dating is one thing, but turning away from dating because of the threat that women pose, a threat that has been derived from this sort of biased anecdotal worldview, that's just resentment. That's just, you're talking about resentment. These are very different things, right? Because one of them is a decision you make on your own, and another one is a decision that's influenced heavily by like a biased data set, especially if you're like watching Wheat Waffles, right? All of these these stories about how women are going to screw you over and how your chances are low and you should just give up, which doesn't bode well for having a sort of healthy, balanced view on what happens in relationships. And that's really not any better. To me, that doesn't seem like it's any better. That's all I wanted to talk about today.
First of all, Kev, thank you for the 4 months. And Bologna, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Also, himself another boring personality. There is.
Thank you for the 27 months. Thank you, Overcott. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about 2 things. First of all, doomerism is a disease. Seek help. Exactly. Okay? It is straight up brain rot. Also, I'm going to say something, okay? It's okay to have phases of like, I can't trust anyone, you know, like, no, I'm in my hermit era. I'm in my shell era where I don't talk to people.
As a sub-5 male, Denims' course on how to make myself more bearable has helped me greatly in the metasphere of the life cycle of the sexual marketplace.
Fucking $100, what the fuck? Thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much. Jesus. Thank you. What the fuck? Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. Let's talk about some things. First of all, it's okay to be in your like, oh, Slim JD, thank you for the prime. It's okay to be like, I'm in my lonely, depressed era. I'm going to play video games for 10 hours a day. Whatever. I'm too scared of getting hurt right now. That's okay. It's okay. But it's not normal, or like normal is the wrong word. I don't want to use that word. It's not healthy. Healthy is the word I want to use. Healthy, it's not healthy to stay there. Take the time you need to grieve about it and be sad about it. That's fine. But eventually, you need to get out of your shell, okay? Unless you want to have like hardcore middle schooler syndrome where you're like, everyone sucks and I just can't trust anyone. Like, come on. You know what I mean? You know? How long are the eras? I mean, I've been through them before. I was going through it last week. I was like, I can never talk to another person again. I'm just going to get hurt. I'm just going to get hurt. And it's like, that's such quitter talk. You know what I mean? It's such quitter talk to be like, oh, I got hurt once, so now I'm never going to put myself out there again. Grow up. Are you kidding me? Grow up. You met like, what, 10 people out of billions on this earth? It's not a very good sample size. I'm going to be honest, okay? If you read a study with 10 people, would you be like, oh, that's a good study? No, you'd be like, that's a kind of a small sample size, okay? So give yourself the time to grieve and be sad. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling your feelings. And then recognize that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy and you got to put yourself out there. You're not going to experience happiness without experiencing sadness. You know? And that's okay. That's okay. It's Sobsar, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we've all been socially broken to think that romantic relationships are forever, or that if they ever end, you can't still care about them. Yeah. You should live your life trying to make every single day the best day. You know what I mean? Yeah, this shit still confuses the fuck out of me, by the way. I don't get the mindset of not seeing women as people and thinking you need cheat codes to get a girlfriend. My favorite thing too is like the cheat codes are like dress well, shower, like be fun to hang with, be an enjoyable person to be around. That's it. Like that. Enter the shower cheat code. That's it. You know what I mean? You know? What was I gonna say? There was one other thing I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, don't stress with labels and shit. I feel like the easiest way to make yourself depressed is comparing yourself to other people and being like, well, I'm not in a relationship. Like, what am I doing wrong? Or like, this person's in a relationship and I've never been in one, or like, I haven't been in one that's made me happy. Like, don't stop. Don't do that. It's just going to make you sad. It's not beneficial to you, even a little bit. Okay. Just think about, how do I have the best day that I can have tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after? That should be your goal. And think about the things that would make you happy. It's like, you know what would make me happy? What if I went and like did this? This might make me happy. This might make me happy. And then try and set up goals and stuff and try and get to those goals. That's it. There's no secret cheat code. It's just doing unfortunately, there's no guide on being a human being, which is fucked up, by the way. Okay. It's fucked up that like as a human being you have to figure it out yourself. God was like, wouldn't it be funny if I gave them existential dread? That would be hilarious. Anyways, it's reality, man. Wrong denims. WikiHow exists. Yeah. Oh gosh. No build guide for human beings. Once I finally stopped worrying about other people's relationships and trying to be in one just for the sake of being in one is when the actual right person came into my life. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like there are definitely things that you can, I think the best advice that I ever saw, like the best dating advice that I ever saw was when you're out on a date, don't spend the time trying to convince the other person to date you. Which is what happens when you are desperately trying to get in a relationship. When you're on a date, you should figure out if that person is right for you. Do you guys have the same hobbies? Do you guys have similar interests? Similar political alignments? Similar worldviews? Dislikes? Likes? You should get to know that person and see if there's someone that you even want to date. You shouldn't be going on a date being like, this has to be the one. You know what I mean? And not only will A, the date go better, but B, you'll actually be more satisfied. Nivy, hi. Hello. Politics on the first date. I mean, I'm a very chaotic person to meet on the first time I meet people, I am the most chaotic version of myself. Because if you can't handle that chaotic version, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's not. Like, if on the first date I bring up politics and you run away scared to talk about anything, it's like, nope, not going to work. It won't. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the entire thing has to be about politics, okay? To be clear to that way. I don't want anyone thinking I'm an insane person. I'm just saying one semi-political conversation, okay? One. Like, hey, what do you think about the fact that like Airbnbs are like fucking crashing right now? I want to see if you can hold a conversation about something like that. If you have any opinions about something like that. You know what I mean? Which I think is not like a debate topic, and I don't think it's like inherently political, but it's like, yeah, let's talk about the housing market. What do you think? If you have no interest in talking about the housing market at all, already it's just like, man, I don't know if this is going to work. You know? I'm glad you asked 8 hours later. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, how do you feel about landlords? The really good one to go for is like, okay, what do you think about cops? Because everyone has an opinion about a cop. Even if your opinion is, oh, I don't really have an opinion about cops, that's an opinion about cops. But if I ask, what's your opinion on cops? And you say, man, I'm really craving some bacon. Oh yeah. We will be good friends. You know what I mean? We will be good friends.